Welcome to the Great Shrimp Shoal. Today we'll be catching up with the new inhabitants of the garden, and hopefully we'll be able to see how they're acclimating to this new environment. Make sure to subscribe, enable notifications, and if you like what you see, make sure to vote with a thumbs up. Because, after all, we shrimp love a good audience. Welcome to the deep, cool waters of the shelf, on the counter by the window. Here we have a handful of inhabitants who call the quaint world of the garden their home. The garden is a 3-gallon tank, with a clay-based gravel and an assortment of planted life. After a brief period of rapid growth, the vegetation in the garden has now settled. When the dust had cleared, there were only 3 parties left standing. 1 ghost shrimp, 1 firehouse cherry shrimp, and a school of 6 neon tetra. The shrimp have been shy, though, choosing to hide deep inside the lantern decoration since their companions had died. This cherry shrimp is now very careful in choosing the right time to venture outside. The ghost shrimp has also gone into hiding, choosing to source his food directly from the plants growing slowly in the deeper shaded areas. Every once in a while, I catch the cherry shrimp sneaking a snack of the string algae growing near the surface of the water. These two couldn't have more different eating habits, and I think it suits them both perfectly. You see, the cherry shrimp is still very skittish, even today, and if I'm noticed, she quickly retreats inside the garden lantern and squeezes into the shadows. The lantern was a good idea, I think, because prior to its addition, the shrimp were lethargic and would stuff themselves close down to the substrate for hours at a time. Giving them some place to hide has had its disadvantages, though. Sometimes I go days without seeing either of them, and with the ghost shrimp, he could honestly be hiding in plain sight. He is an energetic one, though, I'll give him that. I started growing the garden first with some carpet leaf plants, but things quickly sprang out of control. What I thought were a small amount of seeds ended up crowding the tank, and they needed to be cut back. What I had actually planted were not a dwarf leaf, but Hygrophila polysperma. It's a plant that grows up and up very quickly, and the roots of just a single seed can spread quite far. Most certainly not a carpeting variety. Luckily, the shrimp loved it, even the decaying stuff. As some of the seeds weren't taking hold, they did provide lots of food for these consummate gardeners. The 2 bulbs of Ampanagenton undulatus that took root and offered good shade as well as a large surface area for microfauna to grow on. This provided yet another source of good food for the shrimp. Honestly, sometimes the shrimp and the fish look as though they've spotted each other for the first time, even after months of sharing the same tank. They really do treat each other like aliens from another planet. Eventually, the ghost shrimp too came out from under the lantern more often to lounge in the water column. Both he and the cherry shrimp's color would change dramatically before and after molting, but try as I might, I have yet to catch them in the act. The cherry shrimp is the larger of the two remaining shrimp. She is a deep red and clearly outlasted all the other Neocaridina shrimp for a good reason. What that reason is I can't quite say, but I assume she either ate enough to hold off disease or was able to acclimate to the change in water parameters, since this was not the tank that they were born in. Introducing something like this that came from a breeder into an overcrowded planted tank is always a risk. Shrimp have a few sets of arms. The first four, with pincer claws, are called cheliped for grasping food and feeding themselves. These ghost shrimp seem to have much longer arms and legs compared to others. Look how much more fun he has now that the garden has had more growth. Instead of hiding like he did for the first few weeks, he has started to be an active explorer. Once shrimp use their cheliped to grasp at food, they use their shorter maxillipeds to push things towards their mouths. It looks a bit like juggling, and they're not perfectly good at it. You can see his arms and claws more clearly now that he's foraging. The ghost shrimp loves to clean his eye stalks, and when you catch him, it's honestly the creepiest thing to watch. While eating, the cherry shrimp seems to go over spots more like a lawnmower or a vacuum cleaner, slowly brushing all that she can find into her mouth. But the poop seems to pile up quite quickly. The first time I spotted a few of the leftovers of a cleaning, I thought they were a colony of worms starting to take hold. I'm not complaining though, at least it seems as though she's healthy. Let's see if we can count the poops. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it goes on and on like that when this cherry shrimp feeds. I wonder how long it takes for food to turn from churned up food to poop on the ground. At this rate, I might be able to film the entire cycle. I think it's important to leave the moltings in the tank for at least a little while. In nature, the used up exoskeletal layer contains hard to find nutrients. But I can't tell if the ghost shrimp is munching on someone else's skin. He's certainly the oddest inhabitant in the tank thus far. Like some old recluse with long whiskers, he eats, mostly, the stuff growing in the darkest spots, underneath the lantern. The Hygrophila polysperma grows quickly and changes from a pair of small oval-shaped leaves to a bunch of long paddles as it rises towards the surface of the water. The ones that have died or broke leaves leave behind little stems and not much else. It served its purpose though. It sucks up nutrients and enables this small tank to support a larger number of fish and invertebrates. Otherwise I would have had to probably lost more to nitrogen blooms or ammonia. Or I would have had to feed more, which I haven't almost at all recently. Look how graceful the ghost shrimp looks. I seriously think that they are underrated invertebrates. Even his eyes are beautiful, glassy orbs that have a depth to them that is truly unbelievable. And to think that they are used mostly for feeding other fish, and more often than kept as pets. The Neocaridina shrimp are amazing too. The Bloody Mary and fire-painted strains are a deep red color that is close to a true ruby red. If their color is developed well and they aren't stressed, they will reflect light like glass, which only increases their splendor underwater. I think it's time. The garden has stabilized as a tank, and its water parameters are no longer swinging wildly. We can now introduce some new members to the space without endangering everybody. What will these mature dwarf shrimp make of newcomers? Will they be warmly received, or will they get the cold shoulder? Will adding just a few members lead to a massive increase in poop? Should the ghost shrimp remain a solo act? And to think, we're still constrained to a mere 3 gallons. If you have a question, a comment, or a suggestion, make sure to jump into the comment section below and let me know. And I'll see you guys next time on the Great Shrimp Shoal.